The following video you are about to watch contains adult language. Probably didn't need to say that, but I will, because just in case someone is bothered by that. Tacos. Hey, hi, ho, and howdy, everybody. My name is Shannon Alshook, and I'm thinking about talking about something just a little bit extra. Hey, hi, ho, and howdy, everybody. My name is Shannon L. Shook, and this is something neato, and that is the review cap of Nomad of Nowhere, Episode 6, the mid-season finale, because RoosterTeeth's on this kick where it just be like, I'm gonna start a show and then cut it off for a while, make you want it, make you wait for it, make you get all salivating like Shannon when he can't pay attention to words speak. Yeah, so this is episode 6 of Nomad of Nowhere. Well, this isn't that. This is me talking about it. The episode titled El Rey. And not the ex-member of Achievement Hunter. Anyway, yeah, so this is episode 6, El Rey. And it's a good one. It's a good one. For whatever reason, they've been hiding all these, like, really, really good episodes for later on down in the show, and I'm just like, hey, I need a fix, RoosterTeeth. You can't be just like, here's a little bit of cool charmingness. You wait a couple weeks, I'll show you some crazy shit. Yeah, no, this is an interesting episode. I'm not fully as in love with it as I was the last one, though I probably should be, because this one's really, really good for a lot of reasons in particular. Just the way it's put together I really, really like. The fact that it manages to tell an entire story, like probably the biggest story of them all in Nowhere, without ever saying a single word, is fucking commendable. Especially since, I will admit, and people have mentioned it before, sometimes RoosterTeeth does have a little bit of a problem with telling more than showing, which I get and I understand. But this is one of those things where it definitely proves they can do it when they put the mind to it. They can make it do. They can do it pretty goddamn well. So yeah, no, this episode primarily focuses on. I would say it focuses on the Nomad, but really it doesn't at all. Like, I mean, he's our vehicle for information, but other than that, he doesn't really do anything. He walks into a castle and takes a nap, and then walks out of the castle, and the episode's over. But we do get a lot of backstory on El Rey and Nowhere, and we get a bit more development in the way of Scout and Toth, which I'm totally a fan of. So yeah, no, this is broken up into primarily 2 parts, as I mentioned before. There's the Nomad backstory part, and then there's Scout and Toth. Let's do with Scout and Toth first. I think that'd be a good way to start this off. So yeah, no, the episode starts off, Nomad's running, being chased down by our gal pals themselves, and ends up running into a nowhere storm. When he's just a giant sandstorm with lightning that fries your brains. Sorry to Phil or whoever that dude was in the background who just got blitzed. And this poor man, he didn't deserve this. The poor boy's brains. But yeah, no. Bad way. It's a bad place to be. You get yourself buried alive, or just fried, or God knows what else. Apparently murdered by giant electro rhinos. But, that could happen anywhere. I mean, that's just my every Tuesday down at the local deli. Electro Rhino versus guy who wants to eat a pastrami sandwich. Yeah, so they end up running in there and end up chasing the Nomad in. He ends up going off on his little thing. But Scout and Toth end up trying to follow him in because they're like, well, I don't know, where could he be? This is the only place it could be. Scout's obviously very reluctant because she is obviously the less brave of the two. And the bookworm, which is cool, is we actually get to see her break out the wilderness guides or whatever again. Apparently she had to go and get a new set. My headphones are dying, apparently. I'm gonna just take them off. I don't know why I have them on. Ain't fucking listening to nothing. Well, it's because it makes me feel naked without them. It's just like, it's like dick swinging in the air, but totally not also at the same time because it's my head and not that Let's move on. This is too adorable of a show for me to be talking about this, except for all the blood in this goddamn episode. So, yeah, no, Scout and Toph end up making their way through there, with Scout obviously needing a little bit of reinforcement from Toph. And that's actually something I do want to point out, is I do really like how much emphasis they do tend to put on the relationship between those two. They seem to be really... They seem to be taking it very seriously and doing it right, and I like that. Every time we see him, there's another little bit of, oh, that's adorable. Again, very curious if they are actually currently in a relationship, or if it's just, you know, I mean, Scout obviously has a ton of emotions towards Toph, and Toph is much more. She obviously very much cares. But to what extent, I wonder. I don't really know. I guess that's what we're just going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to find out. Who knows? I don't, because I don't write the goddamn thing. But I watch it, and I liked it. So, yeah. With a little coaxing from Toph, basically going out and giving her the whole, like, hey, I think you're fucking strong enough to do it. I think you got what it takes. Throwing out that whole I believe in you shit. And then they end up going in, only to get pretty damn lost, as I mentioned before, encountering people getting zapped in the brains, encountering giant electric rhinos, which we have a little bit of a fight scene, which again, it's kind of my one big complaint about this series, because I have nothing wrong with the fact that they decided to do a show like this, a 2D sort of animated show, especially for the really adorable, cute, for the critters and shit like that. It totally works. It fits that vibe, but that is one thing that does kind of make me a little sad, is we don't get to go too crazy when it comes to confrontations, at least not in, like, taking it 100% seriously. Like, it works... That kind of, like, fighting in a 2D style works really well for, like, the circus episode, for the Twindleweed Brothers episode. It worked out fine, and it worked. I mean, literally at one point, the Nomad is fighting fucking Anhelm with guns, with pies. And that, I can get behind that. It's when the show tries to take itself more seriously, which it does seem to be willing and wanting to do, that it makes me sad that it's a 2D show, and especially this kind of 2D, just because it doesn't get the chance to shine like, say, Ruby does. When Ruby drop kicks you in the face with some fucking fight scenes, they, like, again, drop kick you in the goddamn face with it. Like, I know there was a lot of bitching and moaning about fucking Volume 5 and its fighting and whatnot, but you gotta fucking admit, the Chapter 13, that fight is fucking insane, and I love it. That's like fucking Season 8, Red versus Blue, Tex versus the fucking Freelancers fight. It's just fucking absurd and amazing. Nomad can't do that. It doesn't pull it off. Like, and I don't blame RT for that. I wouldn't, even if I'm a fucking fanboy. But point is, like, it's just, the animation itself doesn't lend very well to that. Because in this, it looks like Toph and Scout have this little bit of a scuffle with a giant rhino thing. If that was in Ruby, it would be significantly more, you know, intense. I mean, despite, it does have consequences, obviously, which I'll get to in just about a second. But it doesn't have nearly as much weight to it, I don't think. And which makes me really sad. Again, for certain slapsticky stuff, like, again, even the fight with the range hand, it works because the Nomad is just running away getting his ass kicked the whole time, except for the part where he turns his fucking hand on him. But this kind of thing, it just doesn't work as much. And maybe that's just me. I'd actually like to get your guys' opinion on that. But, you know, for me, it just does make me a little sad because we don't get to show that off. Again, it works really well for Camp and for this kind of show when it's chill. But when it's not so chill, it doesn't always work quite as well. And that does make me sad. Because I just feel it doesn't get a chance to shine quite as much. But yeah. So they have a little scuffle with the Electro Rhino, and it goes well for a little while, and then basically it comes to a conclusion with the Rhino seriously injuring Scout, very badly, and Toph ending up taking it down with a knife to the fucking eyeball, and then with hacking off its spines and letting it getting electrocuted. It was a little violent for this kind of show, which I know I'm not the only one who said it, because I didn't realize until other people told me, but it's 100% true. There's been more blood in this one episode of Nomad than there's been in any other RT show ever. Well, any other RT animation, I should say. Vaguely remember there being at least a decent amount of blood in like day 5 and shit, but yeah, no, when it takes itself seriously, this show definitely has a lot of potential to it. And that definitely does intrigue me quite a bit. Anyway, like I said, Scout ends up taking a hit pretty hard, and basically Toph has to make the decision to, abandon the hunt for the Nomad in order to save Scout. And that's a huge point, definitely, in her, because obviously, like I said, obviously she cares a lot for Scout, because she wasn't just going to up and leave her, despite being incredibly hot-headed and being incredibly driven to get the Nomad, for, I think, reasons we kind of got in this episode. I don't know. We still don't really know why, but we know why. We know the why of the why. No, we know the why, we don't know the why of the why. I will try and make this make sense in a little minute. Anyway, so she decides to bring Scout back to the Oasis. Scout comes to and ends up going to check on Toph, but doesn't manage to get to her in time before she ends up coming out. In a less than pleasant mood, because of the conversation that happened beforehand. And the conversation that happened beforehand is Don Paragon being a dick. And I gotta really say, I'm actually really, really liking the Don. Like, he was fun, and he's like, yeah, he was fun the first time, and he's actually legitimately growing in my heart and my mind with intrigue, interest, and curiosity. But yeah, no, so basically, she ends up going back to the Don and trying to explain how everything went wrong. Obviously leading to the Don freaking the fuck out and berating the shit out of her. We also see that he is a fencer. Whether it's just he's kind of a pompous douchebag who's into that kind of thing. No offense to those people who are fencers. You're probably not a pompous douchebag, and just in case you are, don't stab me to death. But we see that he does potentially have a little bit of fighting potential of his own. We both see him take out the dummy, which again, it's a dummy, so that might not be saying much. And we also see him straight up murder somebody in this episode with lots of the bloody bits all together and whatnot. Again, this is not the show I was gonna expect. I would expect it in fucking camp before I'd expect it in this fucking show. So yeah, she ends up going and explaining to him. He ends up taking it very poorly and goes on to kind of explain a little bit about El Rey, which I can't really get to because the other part is all about El Rey with the Nomad, but we will anyway, just because I feel like it. Basically, we get the reason the Don is doing what he's doing. He basically goes on to explain that the reason he wants the Nomad, number one, for Toth's side of the thing, is obviously she is a member of the Yadala, and it's been made evident a couple times now that they are one of the few people who are kind of into magic. To what extent, to what means, to what ends, I don't think we really know, but they obviously have, they have a reason to care for it. They have an interest in it, I guess I would go so far as to say. And obviously they seem to have an interest in it enough to where it's very important enough to where Toth is willing to be very aggressive in her hunt for the Nomad. But anyway, basically the Don says something along the lines of, hey, well, you help me get the Nomad, I can help the Yadala, I can give them magic, but I can't give them magic if I don't have the fucking Nomad. So that's at least her side of the thing. Again, we don't know why. We don't know the why of the why. See, I brought it back. That's what I meant. We know why she's hunting the Nomads, because she wants it. We don't know why she wants it. You see what I'm saying to you, good sir, and or madam, and or anthropomorphic bunny girl. Also, if you happen to be one of those, my DMs are open. Also, that was a joke. Stay out. Anyway, I got the sniffles, and now I got a plugged up ear because I just fucked up my goddamn head. Anyway, point is, so yeah, no, he goes on that, and then he goes on to why he very specifically wants the Nomad. He very specifically wants the Nomad so that he can give it to El Rey. Makes sense. We kind of figured that part out. But we learn kind of why El Rey wants the Nomad. But we know why Dom Paragon wants to give him the Nomad, because he wants to become one of El Rey's governors. One of these 4 big badasses that we get shown also in this episode. He wants to be like them. He wants to be wealthy. Oh, so fabulously wealthy, rich and powerful. He wants to have all the power, and while he has some, as the dude who runs the Oasis, he doesn't have as much as apparently these governors of nowhere have. So I mean, we get a decent idea. He wants to be governor. He can do that if he gives, or at least he believes he can make that happen if he gives the Nomad to El Rey. Also, again, just straight up murders one of the Dandy Lions. Poor dude just was asking questions and just got impaled the fucking back. God damn. The show, again, it was not expecting it to get, like, I was expecting it to get dark. It's RoosterTeeth. They're gonna do that shit. They're gonna just come back and punch you in the back of the head while you're not paying attention and being like, hey, we're fucking monsters. Go buy our merch. Now, like, but I wasn't expecting it quite as much as we've gotten, and I wasn't expecting quite this early as well. So yeah, and that basically kind of wraps up our experience with the Dawn and Toth and Scout, though their conversation basically ends with him telling Toth, okay, well, you wasted all this opportunity to protect your fucking spittoon girl. I don't care. You need to get your mind on the game or your people are screwed. I don't care. I want the Nomad, so give me the Nomad so I can be the governor, you can help people, everyone be happy, and I won't be sad anymore. And by sad, I mean stabby. And basically Toth ends up taking that as, okay, well, she has to start shutting herself down, kind of, and focusing purely on the thing, and that's basically what she does. She ends up leaving the House of Corpse, and going and passing by a Scout who's all damaged and whatnot outside, and she's all like, hey, you doing? What's up? Such a dunderhead. Oh, if I could do the Elizabeth impression, I would, but I can't, so I'll stick with the boy bento. It's been far too long since okay, let's move on. That's not important. Anyway, point is, yeah, she basically tries to greet her very warmly, but that doesn't go well, and Toth basically ends up giving her the cold shoulder. which that's not pleasant because their relationship was going kind of well. And God damn it, Mr. Paragon, how dare you do this, sir? And that's kind of the last we see of Scout and Toth, and the last we shall see until Nomad of Nowhere returns later this summer. But that is not the only thing that happens this episode. No, sir. We still have all kinds of El Rey backstory without a single spoken word. So yeah, as I mentioned before, the Nomad ends up making his way into this big storm. And in the storm, he ends up coming across this old castle. And in this castle, he ends up taking a nap and creating some critters and just relax. Well, he's not relaxing. He's just trying to weather out the storm. As soon as he closes his eyes, he ends up waking up. Not really. It's a dream. Vision? Acid trip? I don't know what it is, but it's something. Anyway, ends up going to sleep, waking up, and getting introduced to this old Yadallan lady person, which I have to once again give a shout out to fucking Cole, fucking Eruption Fang, because I watched the video and I was like, oh, I bet she's a Yadallan elder or something like that. That's the impression I got. And then he's all like, is it Yadallan elder? You wanna know how I know? I read the fucking credits, because I'm not a goddamn idiot. And I was like, oh. Well, at least, that means it's just one of us. Oh god, I'm so fucking stupid. I always read the credits. Why didn't I do it this time? Because I'm fucking stupid. Anyway, point is, thank you to him. Anyway, so yeah, we can introduce this old Yadallan lady who goes on to basically try and tell some stories to the Nomad. I don't get the impression that she actually said anything. Again, I get the impression that it's not an acid trip, like I joked, but it is like a vision or a dream of some kind where he's scouring the mansion. Mansion? Castle. Castle Mansionstein. Scouring the castle and encountering things that are giving him flashes of memories of El Rey. That's what I got from it. Don't know if that's true. Probably fucking wrong. Just like every goddamn time in life. But anyway, let's start with the actual fucking flashes that we end up getting. So we first start off our little flashback sequence. Again, I gotta give credit because it has that very World of Remnant art style, which I kind of really like. I do enjoy it, so it's cool to see that kind of thing again, especially since we didn't fucking get any goddamn World of Remnants last. I want to learn lore. RoosterTeeth, don't do that to me. Anyway, so yeah, we got showed this flashback. It starts off with this brave warrior folk fella, guy man person, standing in the edge of this forest, which is actually something definitely worth taking note of, where this giant castle is. And he ends up having to fight his way through skeletons and giant fucking, that movie that I can remember the name of that was also a musical, if I'm not mistaken. Seymour, whatever. Fights a big goddamn piranha plant. And just makes his way fighting up through this castle, fighting off all sorts of baddies, all the way making it up to where the crown is at the top of the castle. And it's cool because it's one of those, you don't see those stories anymore, really. The whole like, well, here's the hero who conquered the castle, found the crown, and became the king. It's like that, like King Arthur-y sort of bullshit. And I like that. Even though King Arthur didn't do shit, he just stood over a fucking sword and a goddamn rock. Little bastard. Anyway, bitch, I could do that. It was my fucking kingdom. Do that shit tonight. Anyway, point is, what was my point? My point is, he ends up making his way all the way up to the top of the castle, seizing the crown, and becoming the king of nowhere, though probably it had a different name back then. And the first thing we learn is this crown seems to have magical properties. It doesn't give any... It doesn't say that he doesn't have magic powers beforehand, but as soon as he has the crown, he's got magic. And considering how shit goes down, I would say it's the fucking crown. So, he ends up putting on the crown, becoming king, and then just starts magicking shit up. People are coming to them with their problems, their woes, their worries, their shenanigans, their shit like that. And then he's all like, fix that shit. I'm the raddest fucking king in all the land. You're the only king in the land, good sir. Shit. Didn't think about that. But still not inaccurate. Anyway, point is, he's just magicking away all of the fucking problems in the world. And he does this presumably for his entire life. It doesn't really say if the magic ages him or if he just did it for years and years and years and years until he was an old man. I would assume the latter, but who knows, because this crown is some crazy ass bullshit. Anyway, there's at a point in his old age where El Rey he runs out of magic. The crown stops giving him the gift of magic. He can't fix anyone's problems anymore, and people start to kind of turn on him, and he seems incredibly distraught by it, and he starts calling up like magic people like, hey, shit, my magic crown thing, the thing that made me be this cool-ass fucking king for years and years and years, just was like, hey, fuck off, bro. And I was like, dude, that's rude. And he was like, I don't give a shit. Where's my pizza rolls that you ate last week? And I was like, bitch, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Melinda came into town. We wanted to hang out and have a good time. Netflix. And just sit there, kind and polite, because we're responsible adults and we're waiting till marriage. But point is, the crown doesn't have magic anymore, so he asked the magic people to be like, hey, can you fix this or whatever? And they're all like, yes, I'm a wizard, I can do this. And they're like, yes, let's do this, and they try it. And then the crown eats them. Crown fucking, eats them. And I would say, it absorbs, in the image, it straight up eats the man. And that's some creepy shit, because I don't want nothing that eats people whole on my head. I wear a hat 24/7. It's gonna eat me all goddamn day. And not in a sexy way. Also bars? Anyway. So the crown starts fucking eating up magic people. And as soon as it does that, it starts gaining magic back. And here's kind of another point where we run into, the guessing game. Because the crown ends up going back on El Rey's head, and it instantly reverts him back to his youth. And he has magic again. And it raises the question, then, I should say, motherfucker just starts smiting people and letting the crown eat people all the time. Just because that's the thing people do nowadays, apparently. And it raises the question that we don't really have an answer to yet is, if the crown is possessing and controlling El Rey, making him this evil person, or if he was corrupted by it and El Rey is a fucking douchebag who happens to have this magical crown that put him down that path. Because from that point on, he just starts fucking feeding people with magical abilities to the crown, and all the magic people start disappearing, and that starts to make sense why there are no more magic people anymore, because El Rey just let his fucking headwear eat them all. Along with all the fucking wizard murdering and shit. And presumably extending El Rey's life over and over and over again, and giving him more and more magical power. It also completely decimates Nowhere. Because, again, when we first see Nowhere, it's the castle, it's in the middle of this big foresty area, and by the time all the wizards and shit are dead, it's fucking desert, we know, and love? Maybe? Can you love something that's soulless and makes you want to cry? Yeah, he seems to have completely destroyed Nowhere in that time, and again, just started ridding magic users of the world, and it definitely gives the impression that that's why he wants the Nomad. The Nomad is supposedly the last magical thing out there. That would mean that presumably El Rey is like, a tasty little snack for my tasty little hat. Oh yeah, boy. Or it raises the question, isn't that, or is it more that he's just like, I'm the magic bitch in town, kill this man, because I'm Magic Boy. Presumably, I'm going with the first one. I feel like he would have just had someone, he wouldn't be hiring people to rustle up my boy. He'd be hiring them to just gut him in the fucking street, and which doesn't seem to be the case. So assumedly, he wants the Nomad alive so that he can munch down on the boy. And that's not okay, El Rey. Bad touch. So yeah, we at least have a decent idea of why El Rey wants the Nomad now. Again, after that, we see a little bit later into El Rey's rule, with the crown seems to be like, almost like kind of growing down Homeboy's head. Like, it's a bigger crown than it was before in that shot. It's becoming sentient. By the time we see El Rey, he's not gonna have a head anymore. He's just gonna have a big golden face. Motherfucker's gonna look like Baron goddamn Zemo up in here, but gold. With an eye in the face. Baron von Cyclops. Anyway, point is, so yeah, we see him a little bit later, and he sees that all of the people are like, hey, I thought you were cool, dude. Why did you just turn into a fucking douchebag overnight? He's like, cool, that's awesome. You, General so-and-so, come here. Blah, and blasts him with some magic, and that turns him into a giant minotaur, which just starts running around killing people. Again, it was bad enough we just started beating them up, but when you just started breaking people's necks and setting people's houses on fire, that was a little excessive. But you know, so he does that, and then this minotaur ends up becoming one of his 4 generals. We also see 3 more as well. One seems to be kind of like a he's kind of like a robot-y, smaller fella dude, mechanisty sort of thing. I'm assuming potentially has some information regarding the Iron Border with him, assuming that's what it is. Again, they're basically silhouettes. It's hard to really tell. There seems to be this much more like stealthy spy ninja bitch. I don't know. And then there's this gunslinging, fucking cowboy hat wearing person with a moon or some shit on his back. I can't really remember, but it looked interesting. Definitely the most interesting to me because I'm into that kind of shit. And again, obviously the big minotaur bastard. And those are a glimpse of the 4 governors or whatever of nowhere. The question I do wonder is how long ago that was supposed to be, because if it was a really long time ago, I wonder if they're all dead and perhaps there's new governors, or presumably, considering they went out of the way to show them and make semi-elaborate fucking character designs for them, I'm assuming they're still around, and I'm assuming there are going to be some big bads throughout this fucking show. So yeah, we get introduced to that, and that gives us our good view of, you know, El Rey and the layout of nowhere, and gives us a pretty decent guess as to what our future is going to be. At this point, we can definitely make the assumption that presumably this first I almost called it goddamn volume twice. This first season is going to be very much our introduction to the show, to the characters and all that, to this information and such. And then presumably the following seasons are going to be us, the Nomad working his way towards El Rey, in some way working our way towards El Rey. I don't know if my man's actually going to be like, hey, bitch, I'm coming after you. Because the Nomad don't seem like that kind of dude. But who knows? We still got half a season to see. In a couple month or fucking 2 or some shit. God damn it, RT. Anyway, point is, presumably we're going to see that be our big climax. Obviously, it would be the Nomad, potentially Scout and Toth and whoever else may get brought along for the journey, who knows, against El Rey, presumably having to go through his governors to get there, the governors, and probably Count Dickbag over in the Oasis. Going back to Cole's video again, he mentioned that apparently, I think it was Jordan or whatever, answered the question of how long the show was supposed to be or whatever, and said 6 seasons in a movie. I think he took that too literally, because I don't think he watches Community, or watched Community, I should say. It's not on anymore, but so I don't know if Jordan was being serious about that or if he was just making a Community reference, because the whole joke behind that a lot in that show was, oh yeah, we're gonna make it to 6 seasons in a movie. If they do go that route, he laid it out very well what would make sense. You got the first season dealing with introductions and whatnot, potentially dealing with Dom Perignon. You have potentially 1 season for each of the 4 governors, and then you have a final one dealing with El Rey. Again, not to fucking ride his goddamn YouTube dick too much. It was just something I was thinking about. So, yeah, no, if that's the way it ends up going, and if Jordan was serious, cool. But really thinking it was probably just a reference. Anyway, I guess we'll have to wait and see. As for that, I don't think there's anything else. I don't think I missed anything. I think those were just the main flashbacks and whatnot. Anyway, and that kind of leaves us off in the episode. As I said, after that point, the Nomad wakes up. The old bag ain't nowhere to be seen, and ends up ending as all Nomad episodes seem to, with my man once again walking off into the desert now that the storm has passed. And again, the episodes are good, and they've been getting good, and yeah, I like it. Yeah, no, the past 2 episodes have been really, really good. I really like how they're willing to go dark with the series. And I know that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, especially with the overly charming, cheery start that the show has, and that still has in a lot of ways. I mean, even when the Nomad is in a rough situation, the boy is still goddamn adorable. Look at him. Look at that boy. He's amazing. Also, might not be a boy. I still don't know. We'll find out, maybe. Probably not. Because, fuck my life. How dare I have information? But yeah, no, I really liked this episode. I loved how they were able to tell the story very much in the same way as the Nomad without ever speaking a fucking word. And it is a huge testament to how... To what RT can do when they really put their minds to it. Is they can make some amazing shit over there. And this is a very good example of that. I also am very interested, again, with how dark it got. Both with just, like, the fucked up shit with El Rey and the Crown and whatnot. And the kind of rough moments with Scout and Toph. And the Don being a fucking psychopath. Yeah. I liked it. I don't know what else I can say other than I liked it, and that I'm interested and I'm intrigued, and I'm absolutely going to be paying attention to it when it comes back later in the summer. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than I fucking dug it. I just beat the shit out of my mic. I apologize. Anyway, I just want to say thanks to everyone who checked out the video, and I want to say thanks to everyone who's checked out the series and kept up with it while I've been doing this. Again, it never ceases to amaze me how at least like a couple people on this earth can be like, hey, here's this dude who can barely speak English. I'll listen to him talk about some silly shit on the internet for a while. It amazes and it inspires me, and I'm so happy, and I love you. Yeah, no, I really have had a good time with this so far. I do apologize for being as late as it is. This was supposed to come out the night that the episode came out on YouTube. That didn't happen because I suck. All of the things, all of the body parts, especially the good lady bits. What? Anyway, I I'd love to know what you guys thought of the episode, what you guys thought of the video, what you guys thought of anything. If you guys liked it, please show it some love. If you want to share it around, please do that. All those kind of things. It's always nice when people can actually watch my videos. YouTube, really appreciate it when you don't put my fucking videos in the goddamn search feature. And when you know, just don't give videos to my subscribers because they're not in a specialized tier and one that doesn't make any fucking sense. And I love YouTube. I do love it when it doesn't fuck me. Anyway, so yeah, no, sharing and shit is really cool. Sometimes people just don't see my shit. That's why I don't do fucking Kato Shoujo videos anymore. One person watched one episode in the last 6 episodes or whatever I made of Kato Shoujo. Fucking infuriating. And it wasn't just because people don't like me. Don't get me wrong, that was a part of it. But I would still have gotten like 2 or 3 views, at least per video. If people actually knew that the videos existed, YouTube, for fuck's sake. Anyway, point is, I'm sorry, I'm salty. I've been salty for a week. I've been salty ever since they announced that they did the shit with the subscribers. It's fucking infuriating. You don't click the fucking subscribe button unless you either, 1, want to watch the fucking videos, hence fucking subscribing, or 2, you just want to fucking support people. And if you want to support people, you should still give them the fucking videos. Make the fucking subscription thing where it's, you know, like limited every once in a while. Make that not the fucking default, because that doesn't make any fucking sense, but make it the goddamn backup. Make that be the thing that you search out to fucking change for your goddamn defaults. So anyway, Camp's gonna be coming back. Yeah, Camp's gonna be coming back here very shortly, next month, I believe. Assuming they're gonna keep their fucking schedules in a reasonable way, I'm gonna be doing reactions to that. Again, not gonna be doing a review cap because there ain't fucking nothing to talk about in Camp other than funny, sad. Daniel. Ugh, fucking creepy. So yeah, not gonna be doing that, but I do appreciate anyone who sticks around for reactions. Again, as long as the schedule makes sense. I don't know. RT, I don't like what you did for Blue because I can't really talk about it. I don't like it, and I still haven't seen the first episode yet. And it looks good, but I still haven't seen it yet. You know, it's a little frustrating. Anyway, we'll get to that point soon. Yeah, be doing reactions to Camp. Obviously, I'm gonna keep doing reactions to what A Place Further in the Universe, which I just started last week. Citrus, which I'm continuing. P5, I'm continuing, and potentially gonna be doing another one a week. We shall see. That I obviously still need to finish up Ruby, because I'm a fucking garbage human being who deserves to be given a Viking funeral, but not like a heroic and honorable one. An angry one. With sassy redheads. So, you know, we'll see about getting to that here pretty soon. Hopefully. I'm so sorry that's taken as long as it is. I have no excuse. I literally have no excuse. I'm just a fucking piece of shit. Anyway, point is, thank you all so much for watching. I had a great time with Nomad and Nowhere so far, and I'm absolutely going to keep up with it again from this point on. Also, probably going to try and start actually doing reactions. Again, meant to do that this time. Didn't do it because for whatever reason my brain was just like, watch the episode. And so I did, and I enjoyed it, which is good, so... See you guys when that starts back up again. If you guys don't stick around for anything else, if you guys do stick around for other things, thank you. You're beautiful, even though I don't know what you look like. Probably sexy, unless you're under 18, in which you're hideous and get away from me. Stay out of my DMs. Yeah, no, thank you guys for everything. I really do appreciate it. Sorry this outro's been 9.5 years long, but it's okay. Fuck it, it's the last goddamn video for a while. On this topic. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Sorry for freaking out about YouTube. It makes me want to commit seppuku. Anyway, point is, thank you. I'll see you guys later. Toodles, doodles, and nomads. I like doing that.